Good morning. Today we're working on a 2005 XL 1200 Sportster. The thing runs pretty good. I've had this bike for a while. It's sat. I just took it out yesterday and checked the oil, started it up. You know, I was going to get ready to winterize this bike. And to winterize it, I just want to go through a few things that I did. First was check the tire pressure. I like 38 in the front, 41 in the rear. That took about a 10-15 minute ride to make sure all the oil is back in the oil tank. All right, I checked the oil, everything was nice. I removed the air filter, cleaned it up, I started it up, I sprayed a little cleaner inside the intake of that carburetor. I noticed she was giving me a little bit of a problem. Next thing I did was I put fresh gas in the gas tank and I put a little additive to it, Lucas gas treatment additive, because she will be put away for a little while. I believe I'm gonna have to do the intake seals. Yesterday when I brought it back in, it would actually overrun a lot. I tried to start it, it would backfire. And this is only when it's warm. I noticed the battery is going to need a new one for next year. But right for now, we're all right. It has a crack on one of the terminals. All right, I'm going to put the choke on and see what we got. Choke is on. Like I said, I believe she's going to need a new battery. One of the terminals has a crack on it. What they did was they used the long screw as hardware and it put pressure against it and cracked it when they tried to tighten it. All right, let's see what we got. I got it on run. yesterday it sounded funny, but this thing sat for a long time. I'm going to take it out for a test run. Okay, I just came back from a test ride, 10-minute ride. Let it warm up nice. I shut her down, and let's try to restart it, see if it acts up again. Key on, run, neutral. Some debris or something in the system, but I will keep an eye on it. I know it needs a battery because you hear the way it gets weak. With that, let me shut her down. With that, now to move on to winterizing. I'd like to check the tank. Before I do that, I'm going to remove the seal. When the oil sits for a while, like 3-6 months, on some of these bikes, this will drain into this dry sump motor. And people don't realize they'll take the bike out of storage, and what you need to do, the first thing you need to do is to pull the cover off, pull the air filter off. You're going to check your oil and it might be low. But when you start it up, the oil is going to circulate back into the tank and be where it was. So before winterizing, take notice where the oil level is. All right, this bike, I know on the kickstand it'll be the low mark. There's your first line. If it's sitting straight up and down, it'll be over here. So remember that. Do not overfill these. What we do is, we see there's no oil on the stick and we put more oil in it. And when the bike starts up, this dry sump will return the oil back into your oil. So be aware of that. Now what I like to do is start the bike up, turn the gas off, and run the carburetor dry. Let's go to the other side of the bike. All right, you'll see I marked a little white paint and a little white paint. This is on. I'm going to start the bike up. I'm going to turn it off to drain all the fuel out of the fuel system. And I mean the carburetor. With that, make sure you got some treatment in the tank and put some fresh fuel in it before you put it away. Let's start her up. That's that battery. It has a cracked terminal. So be aware, right there is off. Doing is running the carburetor dry of fuel because this is turned off. Just take a minute or two. Yeah, she needs a good cleanup. It's a great bike. I love these Sportsters. There she goes. Burn all this gas. It acts like a pump, so it's pulling every bit of fuel and burning it until there's none left. is no fuel in that carburetor, so you can have no problems when you put this in storage. This is something I learned years ago with any kind of motor. Run it dry, empty the fuel out, and you'll never have a problem. But this is a motorcycle. We'll just make sure we keep at least a half tank with some treatment, fuel off, and then we'll store her. Put her on the battery tender, and you should have no problems. If you have any questions, please ask. Thank you for watching. And if you have any suggestions, leave it in the comment section. It helps others. And I really appreciate it if you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Ride safe and have a great day.